Cut to interior Don Mong Airport, late afternoon. Kirkhill's voice continues over the image of the crowded airport terminal as Rambo, carrying a cheap flight bag, waves among the jostling Orientals. Kirkhill, voiceover. Your flight to Bangkok is at 6:30, commercial carrier, low profile. Rendezvous with Colonel Troutman at the Indra, room 618. You'll meet your number 2 man, Lieutenant Brewer. He doesn't get a packet, you brief him verbally. After a flurry of passport stampeding, Rambo clears customs and makes his way to the main exit. Exterior, taxi stand, street, late afternoon. Rambo emerges into the stifling humid heat of Bangkok in May and stands scanning for a cab. D-minus 51 hours, Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok is a city of fervid motion, and the streets is chaotic with traffic. Stepping through throngs of Asian and tourists, Rambo reaches for the door of a beat-to-hell Citroen taxi hunkered low at the curb like some metal lungfish. He spins as a hand lightly touches his shoulder. Man says, "Sorry, old buddy, I saw first." An American in his late 20s. The man speaks with one of those hard-to-like southern accents, probably from North Carolina. He is lanky but muscular, with boyish good looks and hair cut so short it barely qualifies as stubble. Though dressed in a loud Hawaiian shirt and madras slacks, it is painfully obvious that the man is military. His arm is draped around a gorgeous but overly made-up Thai girl. Man, affable. I kinda got an important date here. Rambo's eyes narrow as he turns wordlessly and climbs into the taxi. The American grins cockily and tosses his bag to Rambo. "No problem, man. We'll share it." "Get your tail in there, sweet thing." Escorts the girl in. Interior. Taxi. Interior, both interior and exterior shots in the taxi. The American and the girl pile into the broad front seat to the chagrin of the lizard-faced Thai driver. Man to driver. "Indra Hotel. And don't take any scenic route, Smiley. I know my way around this burg. Compadre? Comprende?" Rambo speaks quietly to the driver in Thai. Thai subtitle. Same place for me. The girl giggles as the American slips his hand up from her stocking knee and between her thighs. Ooh, this guy's going for it. "Man, you are fair flower of the Orient." She giggles like a chirping bird. Man, continuing to Rambo. "She thinks everything I say is funny. Don't you, Angel Pie? Man, Thai women are the best. Got kind of legs I like. Feet at one end and pussy at the other." He turns to Rambo, who hasn't commended or take any observable notices of him. Man, continuing. You don't say a hell of a lot, do you, pal? You speak English?" Rambo coldly. "Sometimes." The girl coos to the American in pidgin English. Thai girl says, "You got money? I stay whole week." The man replies, "Sweet thing, there's nothing I'd like more than to wugga wugga with you for a week, but tonight's all we got." He lowers his voice conspiratoriously, leaning close to her. Continuing. "See, I'm on this secret mission, and tomorrow I'm headed out too." Rambo grabs the man brutally by his collar. "That's enough, Brewer." The American freezes at the sound of his name, turns slowly. Brewer, realizing, "Rambo, you're Rambo." Pause. "Christ." Rambo speaks sharply to the girl in Thai. Thai subtitle. "Get out, now." The driver, confused, skids to a stop, and the girl gets out into the dim of the cluttered shop district. A flash of slit skirt, and then only fading curses behind them as the taxi moves on. "Brewer," says the Rambo, brightening. "Geez, I never would have guessed. You undercover lieutenant? Great disguise." Cut to, cut to interior Indra hotel room. Dusk. Troutman, sipping a gin and tonic at the window, spins around as the door flies open. Brewer storms in, followed a few paces back by Rambo, who closes the door. Brewer, to Troutman. "He says he's team leader on this show." Troutman replies, "That's correct." Brewer, controlling his fury, amps up. "Begging the colonel's pardon, but I understood I was up to lead my next mission." Troutman replies, "Not this one. You're on communications and camera. Same image interface gear you used in El Salvador last year." Rambo chirps in, "This clown almost blew mission security on the street. I'm not jumping with him." Brewer, spitting to Rambo, "Clown! Now back up there, buddy." Troutman sharply intercuts between them. "Listen up. You two are married as of now. Get used to it." Rambo to Troutman, "I say we tape him to the chair." I forgot about that line. That's great. This script is full of great lines. Cut to exterior operations base camp day, D-36 hours, Bang Bong, Kala, Thailand. A small airstrip transects a meadow bounded by rainforest slopes. Weathered in low clouds, the mountains march into the distance in increasingly subtle shades of gray, like a Japanese watercolor. Near a cluster of small buildings, the scene is one of manic but efficiently activity as the high-tech base camp is assembled. An enormous Swarovski CH-54 sky crane lowers a Winnebago-sized Connex container, and another roars by. An Army Corps of Engineers work crew, stripped to the waist, scurries through the rotor wash. The blasting air raises curtains of muddy spray and drowns out the yelled commands of the supervisors. A Vietnam-era Huey UH-1D helicopter nimbly touches down nearby. Rambo in the pilot's seat slips off his headset, climbs down. Brewer and Troutman in fatigues jump out and join him as Kirkhill approaches, dollying with them as they emerge from the rotor noise, and Kirkhill motions them towards the Mobile Tactical Operations Center, MTOC. Kirkhill says, greeting, "I didn't know you were a stickman, Rambo." Rambo replies, "I cross-trained in gunships." Troutman to Kirkhill, "How long have you been setting up?" Kirkhill replies, "About 22 hours on this site." Troutman replies, "Nice work." They pass a tent-like camouflage canopy, which under an all-black Swarovski UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter squats ominously. It has no markings or insignia. There is another canopy behind it, the contents of which are screened from view. Nearby is a cluster of Connex airlift containers, two of which are joined together to form a building-like double-wide mobile home. Another unit contains a roaring generator. The fourth is topped by tracking gear. Cables snake through the mud, connecting the units. Kirkhill notices three work party grunts kibitzing nearby, taking pictures of each other with a pocket Instamatic. He snatches the camera from a surprised young corporal. Kirkhill says, "This is covert operation, numbnuts." He opens the camera and drops the film in the mud. The corporal reaches platoonly for the camera. Kirkhill drops it, causing casually in the mud as well. Kirkhill to Troutman and entourage, "Check out the command hut." He opens the door to a large Connex unit and follows the others inside. Interior, MTOC. The hut turns out to be a humming electronic womb. It is subdued light banks of video monitors glow, and the status lights of upright computer units line on the wall. Workstations for tracking, communications, long-range coordination create a claustrophobic jumble of modular equipment racks. Brewer bursts out, "Mission Control!" They wipe their muddy feet and enter the air-conditioned command center. Rambo gazes around at a jumble of gear. He runs his hand over one console, causing a seated technician to glare at him. Rambo says, "All this for us?" Kirkhill replies, "That's right." Brewer, to Rambo, chirps in, "They call us the field unit meat puppets." Cut to interior-exterior camouflage canopy day. Rambo and Brewer walk in under an expanse of net camouflage on poles. Sunlight streams through the foliage covering, creating bright models on a black object, FG. Camera pulls back and booms up as Rambo moves towards to reveal the object as an all-black jet. It is a modified Gulfstream Peregrine, a small, sleek, single-engine executive model with the insignia of ID numbers, with all the insignia and ID numbers removed. Medium on Rambo and Brewer as they consider the aircraft. Brewer says, "Ever do this from a jet?" Rambo replies, "No." Voice OS, "It's easy." They turn to see a lanky, long-haired man in a leather flying jacket duck under the fuselage from the far side and approach them. Man grinning. "Just have to jump fast." Two other air crewmen jump down from the open rear passenger door of the plane. Rambo says, "You the pilot?" Man, extending hand, "Yeah, Doyle." He gestures to the two in the door, Lifer and Furman. Doyle is a product of the 60s, school of ultra cool. His brain a little torched by too many methed out night missions. Furman, the co-pilot, grins too much, and Lifer's eyes are just plain scary. Rambo intervenes. "You boys Air Force?" Doyle replies, "Marines. Though, we're private contractors now." Lifer says, "You ever do a tour in country?" Rambo, "2. I-Corps mostly." Doyle to Brewer, "How about you?" Brewer's response is defensive. Vietnam was a little before my time, so was Korea. Know what I mean? Rambo and Doyle glance at each other. Solidarity before new meat bozos. Exterior camouflage canopy. Detail on the ground. As the head of a torque wrench finishes a rough map of local Southeast Asia, scratching hastily in the dirt. Doyle, OS. Thailand, the Making, Laos, and Nam. With each word, he plops the torque wrench onto the appropriate place. Camera on Doyle, gesturing as he continues. Doyle says, "A straight dash across the Altan Panhandle, through the Amese Mountains, good dicey bits there, and onto the drop zone, 18 minutes each way in communist airspace." Rambo says, "We go low to stay off radar." Doyle, "In the rhubarb, baby." Furman, grinning, "Mowing the lawn." Lifer, "Dig it."